How did rabbits and hares become queer symbols in both the East and the West independently? Welcome back to Yesterqueers. My name's Amanda. I'm a public historian of queer history, and for Pride this month, I'm diving into the history of all sorts of queer symbols and slang. There's a two-part origin for why rabbits are a queer symbol in China and Taiwan. The first part has to do with how hard it is to distinguish male and female rabbits, which led many ancient Chinese people to believe that rabbits were androgynous. There are numerous stories throughout Chinese literature that link rabbits to gender nonconformity. They're even referenced in the closing lines of the Ballad of Mulan. It made rabbits a good symbol for men who were gender nonconforming, and by the 17th century in Beijing, rabbit had become the derogatory slang for gay men, especially actors who portrayed female roles and male prostitutes. The other part of the origin story has to do with the rabbit god, Tuer Shen, who burst onto the international stage in 2006, when a Taoist priest named Lu Wei Ming realized that many of the Taoists he spoke to didn't feel like they had a deity who could answer their prayers. So he built a shrine to a little-known god named Tuer Shen in Taipei, Taiwan. We get the story of the rabbit god from an 18th century poet named Wan Mei. According to Mei, in Fujian, a man named Hu Tianbao fell in love with an imperial inspector and was caught spying on him, at which point the inspector had him beaten to death. Officials in the underworld mocked the man for his actions, but recognized that they were driven by love and not malice. So they made him Tuer Shen, rabbit god, and tasked him with supervising the affairs in the world of men who appreciate other men. This rabbit god is almost certainly Wan Mei's creation, as he doesn't appear anywhere else in Chinese mythology. Mei seems to have taken a northern Chinese folk deity called Tuer Yi, Lord Rabbit, and the slang of referring to gay men as rabbits, and combined them with a pederastic Fujian cult that worshipped a deity named Hu Tianbao, and created this entirely new god who now, hundreds of years later, provides guidance and comfort to thousands of Taiwanese and Chinese queer people. The rabbit remains an enduring symbol of queer love in China and Taiwan and is referenced frequently in pop culture, especially in Dan Mei literature. The association of rabbits and hares with queer people in the West goes all the way back to the folklore of classical antiquity. Interestingly, ancient Greeks and Romans also thought that rabbits and hares were androgynous, and they viewed them as symbols of promiscuity and of fertility. The Greek god Eros, known as Cupid in ancient Rome, was the god of love, lust, and sex, and the rabbit was one of his symbols. Though there are plenty of vases that show men handing rabbits to women, we also have dozens of depictions of men handing rabbits to other men as a symbol of their affection. And in this comedy by Terence, written in the 2nd century BCE, a promiscuous young gay man from Rhodes is referred to as a hare. The ancient tradition of depicting the hare as a symbol of promiscuity and of homosexuality got all wrapped up in biblical tradition as it made its way through Europe, and up until about the 14th century, hare was the most common slang term for a gay man in Western Europe. That's it for today. As always, more information, including sources and further reading, is available in the usual place.